What's up, Nick? You know, we gotta give it a second, get everybody all on, and then we'll get started. What's up, B? Give us a few seconds. We're gonna get started shortly. Miss J, we see you live on there. Who's that over there? Carmen, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna get started shortly. Shorty. I don't think so. Okay. Okay. Baby, you're live on your tablet. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sammy J, and it's Taboo time. Tonight's topic, we are discussing interracial dating. This is something that is very taboo and not talked about in a lot of social communities. So we're going to dive in deep in that tonight. We're going to get into the stereotypes. We're going to get into the statistics. And we're going to really need you guys' input as well. So, y'all already know I got Wifey, my co-host, in the background, making sure that everything goes off smoothly tonight. Miss Nosy No, thank you again.
What up, y'all?
All right, and then tonight I have a special guest, my bestie, my Miss Cubana, my one and only Miss Dominique is in the building tonight, and she is going to give us a little bit of her input on what we are discussing tonight. So, let's just start off with diving right into it. Interracial dating. So, I already see a comment from Miss J. She said, first, I just want to say I'm okay as long as it's not your only preference. So, keep that note there. We're gonna just kind of like dive into the beginning. So, the first thing I want to start off with is that a lot of times when you hear interracial dating, the first thing that comes to people's mind is black and white. Mm-hmm. And it is beyond black and white. Interracial dating is anything outside of your own race. And that is actually more widespread and more done than people really think. So I want to start off by saying that, like, kill that stereotype. It is, when you think of interracial dating, it is not just black and white. And this is coming from someone who is multiracial herself. So we already know that it is beyond black and white. So let's kill that stereotype right there out the gate, okay? Second thing we're going to get into, it is beyond a sexual thing, right? So the main reason why a lot of people feel like white girls mess with black guys or white guys mess with black girls is all sexual, and we're going to dig into it, but it's beyond sexual as well, right? The other thing we're going to talk about tonight, it's beyond admiration and fetish. We're going to have to break those two concepts down, admiration and fetishes and things like that. We're going to talk about social acceptance, and we're going to get into some statistics. So before we dig into those things, I'm going to give you guys some background. My girl over here, Miss Dominique, her preference is white guys. So with that being said, I'm going to turn to Miss Cubana, Miss Dominique, and I want you to share with our viewers why white guys are your preference.
I mean, it's a hard question. I just feel like, that's 90% of who approaches me. You know what I mean? I'm open race-wise. I'm open to black guys, So color's not a factor. It's just that that's who approaches me.
Okay.
90% of the time, I'd say black guys approaching me, it doesn't happen.
Okay. All right. So y'all heard it. She is open to more than just white guys. However, she feels like white guys is all that approaches her. So now let's dig into the reasons behind this. So, in doing some of the research, and I want to start off by discussing these social acceptances, because I feel like this is going to go a long way as to why people don't, feel comfortable dating outside their race or anything. So social acceptance. these numbers, when I was talking with Nosy No and Dominique before the show, and I was just kind of giving them a tidbit of information on what we're going to discuss, they weren't surprised by these numbers, but I'll be honest with you, I was very surprised by these numbers. So as far as social acceptance is concerned, white people are more accepting of their race, dating outside of their race, than any other race that's out there. They are 81% of white people are willing to accept other white people dating outside their race. You said you knew that was going to be the case. Nosy, no, you said you knew that was going to be the case. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of thrown off by that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because with our history of how white people felt about black people back in the day, to me, I assumed that they was going to be the main ones that was going to be like, oh, fuck no. I don't want my child with no black guy.
But I feel like altogether, white people as a whole, they're a more open race.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's easier for you to accept someone dating within their race or outside of their race when your race itself is open. You know, there's a lot of people who are black who aren't open.
So see, now he said, well, one race has conquered the globe, of course they're going to be accepting of it. And then one person over here said, that's crazy, I didn't know that, learn something new. And that's what I'm saying. So I would thought, and then even Nick over here on my Instagram, he said that's high. And that is, to me, I was like, what, 81%? And then following them are Asian and Hispanic. And I was like, Asian caught me off guard, because you know they be wanting to keep everything in their community. Mm-hmm. So when they were like 75% of Asian, I'm like, what? Okay, 75% Asian, 73% of Hispanic. Now here go the black community. We came in with 66% of us are accepting of that. So Miss J said, it's like you said, it's not just black and white. And she said, so just stop giving them more credit. But no, that's what I'm saying. They're saying it's not black and white, but they're saying 81% of people are willing to be okay with, 81% of white people are okay with their children dating outside. So, and he said that's crazy because Asians normally stay within their own. And that's what I agree. So black community, 66% is all that is okay with people dating outside the race. And I was shocked by that number. I thought it was going to be higher. But in doing my research, I'm starting to understand why it's so low. Because there were so many stereotypical things that I have seen coming out the black community's mouth about them people dating outside the race. And I know quite a lot of people that date outside the race. I mean, to me, I was shocked, but I'm over it now, because now I'm just like, okay, it makes sense. So 66% of blacks don't agree with it. So here we go. Some people said on my Facebook, they said, Nicole says, I've seen a lot of Asians or Koreans with blacks. Yes, I do see that a lot. I do see that quite often. And then Adriana says, shoot, nah, them Filipinos don't. And then Taylor says, I'm not surprised by the black percentage being low. And I was initially, but now I'm not after I saw everything. Nick says, we're hard on our own when it comes to that. And I agree. But can we answer why we're so hard on our own?
Because of our background.
And that's exactly what Alistair said. He said 500 years of enslavement and disadvantage. I don't blame the blacks.
Absolutely.
I get it. I get it. And that's what Miss J said. She said, you have to remember how whites were on us as slaves.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, I get that.
It's 2020, so.
But I'm also like, you know, everybody should just be open and willing and, you know, to just do whatever. So, okay.
I get it, but that's
more numbers before we get into the stereotypes, because I'm going to address the stereotypes as well. She just said, oh, real quick, Nicole says, I don't see a lot of blacks upset about dating outside their race. I see them get upset when we date white.
White, yes.
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 Yes, yes, yes. Nicole, yes. That is exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because you don't see them get upset when they with an Asian girl. Like, ain't nobody getting on Jeezy case about him dating Jeannie Mae. Ain't nobody. Everybody like, okay, Jeezy, I see you. I ain't know you was that cultured. They ain't giving him no clap back. But everybody be so mad at people like Tay Diggs, who has a white wife. Or, you know, Michael Jordan, who's married to a white woman. And Dr. Dre. But, I mean, it really comes down to, like you guys said, that black people just truly have an issue with us dating white people. I don't agree with it, but hey. And then Alistair says, yeah, dating a colonizer is like a slap in the face in a way. So, yeah. We gonna get into that. So now, just some numbers here that you guys may not have known, because like I said, I learned something, so I'm sure I'm about to teach you guys some shit too. They said that 17%, this was in 2018, so I'm sure this is maybe slightly higher now, but I'm not gonna say that the number is drastically higher. 17% of married people in the country were interracial. That's a pretty low number. That just goes to show that we still have a lot of growing to do, because people should be able to marry who they want to marry. And I think it's because I think the married number is so low because people just don't make it to the married phase.
It's because people are too worried about what other people think, what other people have to say. It's not based on, you know, people truly wanting to date within their race. They may want to explore and be open to it, but society is, everything's societal, you know. Everybody cares about.
Love is Blind, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great example of it with Love is Blind, with Lauren and Cameron's whole story. Yeah. You know, she was really concerned about how her father would feel about her bringing this white guy home, you know, who she had already fallen so head over heels in love with. So, I mean, I totally get it. I get why the number is so low, but this is, again, just so, like, it was shocking to me to see that. The other thing now, for the black community, only 18% of black community are marrying outside their race. 18%. 18%. That's it. And that's not just white. We're just talking about outside our race. The white one was 11%. Now, this is what was interesting to me. And that is that 24% of black men are dating outside their race, while it was only 12% of black women. So now, let's talk about that. Like, 24% of black men. So black men are more willing to go out here and date white women or Asian women or anything else, while us black women over here like, nah, we gonna stick to the black men. But we're still doing it because 12% of black women are doing it. So now, what do we think is the difference in those numbers? Why do we think that?
It's because I feel like black men is the ones being more stereotyped against their
You think the black men are being more stereotypical against black women, and that's what prevents us from dating?
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Okay, what do you think, Dom?
I believe it, because I would say, as I stated before, I don't get approached by black men who, you know, they might look at me, but when I'm out on a date with a white male, I get all this attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it does come to that. It comes down to, you know, you have an issue with it, but at the end of the day, that's who approaches me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not about me being unapproachable or anything like that. It's just things that I have in common. You know, it's a lot behind it, but I feel like that is what it is. You know, it's
So you think that the reason why our number is so low is because of how the black men look at us? Now, so he said a white woman can be viewed as a threat. A white man is not in this context. So I guess that's what. So, and then Miss J says white men see us as a token. I can't agree with that. I don't agree with that, because I know a lot of white guys that their preference is just black women. They find them to be absolutely beautiful. So Nicole says that's because most black men are looking for something different other than black women due to stereotypes, where black women are just looking for love, not color. I agree with that statement. Exactly. I agree with that statement. I think that black men are stuck into this, which is one of the stereotypes that I'm going to discuss tonight, they're stuck on this angry black woman thing, this inability to be controlled type of thing. There's so many things I could sit here and tell you that I think are the stereotypes behind it. As a matter of fact, I could tell you one. Just watching last night, I was watching the documentary that they put together, or that little thing that they put together for Madam C.J. Walker about her being self-made. And on one of the episodes, they talked about how Booker T. Washington had pretty much told her, like, you need, for lack of better words, he told her, you need to stay in a woman's place in the kitchen. Her husband said, you ain't staying in a woman's place. And I feel like they always wanted the black man to rise to success before they would allow to reach down and build a black woman up. And I feel like to a certain extent, it's changed a lot, but to a certain extent, it's still kind of like that in the black community, you know. And I feel like that's one of the things that it gets in the way with, you know, black women dating black men sometimes. I feel like they want this. I feel like they be looking for the wrong shit. That's all I'm saying. So, Alistair said that could be a geographic factor with the lack of black male approaching your co-host. So, I think we talked about that. Yeah. That could actually be. Alistair, that was one of the things that I talked to her about, and I said that I feel like sometimes we are a product of our environment. And I'm going to reference this back to me growing up. When I grew up in Virginia Beach. I went back and forth between Baltimore and Virginia Beach. But I would say for like a big bulk of my time, I was in Virginia Beach, and I was around a predominantly white environment. And at my little early preteen stages, most of the boys who I was, you know, talking to or had, you know, little boyfriends or crushes were white boys. I can tell you two off the dip. One little boyfriend I had was Grayson. The other little boyfriend was Frankie that lived across the street from me. But I wasn't even really into black boys like that. Like, and honestly, I had got teased more by black boys for me being a little on the chubby side, but the white boys was just like, you know, they loved me. I was cool. I was fun. I did a little skater stuff and stuff like that. So had I would have stayed in Virginia Beach, there would have been a very high chance of me ending up with a white guy. So before I continue on that, Aaron says it's hard to approach women. There's a group of them is easier, but to approach a woman when it's just one, it's harder. Then my Miss J gonna throw me out there and say, Sam, you're 2/3 white. I don't care. I'm just saying I'm still black. I'm still black, okay? And I'm just saying that if I had stayed in Virginia, I probably would have had a higher chance of ending up with a white guy. Now, here's the reason why I say this. And that's because when I moved back to Baltimore, I moved back at 13, right? And when I moved back, the first thing that I went to, even though it was a predominantly black environment, the first thing that I went to was something that I knew. So the first boyfriend that I got when I moved back here was a white boy who, for lack of better words, acted black. So it was like I still went with what I was used to, but it was like I was learning then because of the environment that I'm in now. I was like, oh, black guys. And then after that, it was like ship had sailed. And now in my adulthood, I've never been with a white guy, a white girl, or anything. And I think it really had a strong part to do with the fact that I was never really around it. See, with you've been here in San Diego for a bulk of your a lifetime. And even though San Diego does have black people, what you would say, is it safe to say that it's predominantly white or Hispanic environment? Right. So I definitely think that what Alistair said, that the geography of it could definitely be a huge factor as to why that's approached you. Because if we take you out of said environment, do you think that black men would approach you more? Now, here's my question to you. We take you out of said environment. We put you in an environment where it's predominantly black. How do you respond?
I'm open. Like I said, I'm open. It's all based on the person. You know what I mean? It's all based on my connection to the person.
Okay.
White guys have just been my preference.
See, and then she's saying, she's saying, Sam, I dated white girls, so you saw that and grew up around that. No, I understand that. That's why I'm saying, because I was around it so much when I was younger, you would think that I would have been more attracted to them. But once I got older and was able to make a judgment, we were back in Baltimore by that time, and it ain't that many white people there. So, yeah. This guy says, oh, this is a really interesting topic. He said only, or our subject point here, he says only 6% of blacks live out west. So she basically been around a bunch of white people, and that's what she like is these white guys. Because she been around nothing but white guys. So we basically, what they trying to tell me with Facebook and Instagram and the listeners and viewers of Taboo Time are trying to get me to tell you is you need to get around some black people. Right?
But
Somebody,
why does it gotta be black?
It don't have to be. You can get around some Asian.
But, you know,
Asian maybe.
Yeah, most of them is all like other races is like, you know, married into, you know what I mean? Like,
but no, that's what we're seeing though. Looking at the stats, so this guy says, I'm from Baltimore. My neighborhood was 98% black. So when I went to the county, it was the opposite. Well, see, no, I don't agree with that statement, because in my part of the county, it was white people, but it was still a lot of black people. You know, anybody on my live that went to Deer Park Middle School, no, it was nothing but black people up in there. The percentage of white people that were in that school was very slim. And if the white people that was there, they probably was like, you know, cultured white people. Because I don't like saying act black, because I don't understand that. But they were cultured white people, so I can't even say that.
And that's what it is. I'm not a cultured enough.
And see, Alistair said, yeah, it just depends on the part of the county. Because I don't know. I like, everywhere that I've ever been, I feel like it's predominantly black. Now, looking at one of the main things that I had said, the stereotypes that I feel as though prevents black people from approaching black men is this angry black woman theory. So I want to dig into that a little bit. Angry black woman. What does that mean to you when you hear that? Nosy, no.
to me, angry black woman is, I mean, it speaks for herself, you know? Just a woman is a, you know?
To me, that's somebody who's unapproachable.
Yeah, like, you know, unapproachable, you can't speak.
And then when you're approached, you automatically have an attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have a killer RBF. So, do you think I'm an angry black woman?
Yeah.
That's
look
for
like
you
it.
to decide. You know what I mean?
You look like it. That's why I know. That's probably why black men probably don't approach you.
So one of our viewers says, some of it comes from the abuse we grow up with, coming from our own community. Some of it's self-hate based, and some of it is kind of a reverse racism. How do you guys feel about that? Nick said it's like talking to a brick wall. If that's what your theory is on the angry black woman. So Patrick said, man, she ain't lying. You got a killer. Rest in bitch face. Alistair said, well, I was told from young that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I agree with that. But I do think that a lot comes from perception. And I think that some of people, like you said, they just go based off of our initial face. And they're like, oh, man, she probably a bitch. I ain't even about to approach her. But I feel like that goes the same for women. You know, we can look at a man and be like, he think he the shit. I ain't even about to. Because, you know, like...
Y'all say he look too conceited.
Yeah, he looks too conceited.
He's too full of himself.
He's too... You can... Know, but that's what I'm saying. So the same way they look at us and say, oh, she a bitch, based on our facial expressions, we look at them and be like, yeah, no, he's too conceited. But then again, I feel like,
why are we fear of a confident person? That's what I feel like.
Ooh.
It sounds like, why are we fearing
she over here dropping jewels. She said, why are we fearing confident people, though?
That's what it sounds like.
Because that's what it comes down to.
So,
Nick... issues within yourself.
Nick said, we already going into knowing we probably going to get boxed into whatever you want there before us. Alistair said, I've realized... He said, I can definitely see it coming from home trauma, but he said, I've realized that from being around different females, the love and support of home versus the survival mentality plays a part as well. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Because that comes back to, like, one of the things that, you know, my mom and I are always talking about. We be like, man, people don't handle shit the way we handle shit. like mentally. We be like, oh, we just different. We just cut from a different cloth. So I feel like that can come from the same aspect. Like women sometimes can become, I think black women especially, because sometimes just because we are strong, we're coming off as angry. And that's not necessarily the case. Like, you know, Dom right here, I ain't gonna lie. Like, Chris, you could be witness to this. When I first met her, she was like being a straight up little trying to slide me bitch on the social media. Cause I met her online. And she was really trying to avoid conversation. And that shit kind of pissed me off. I told you that though. And then after a while, she's like, ugh, this bitch won't leave me alone. Fine. And we, continued our conversation. But once we met, it was like, oh man, she's super fucking cool. And so when we go out together, I see firsthand exactly what she means. Because I watch. And I see how, because she do got a mean ass fucking resting bitch face. But similar to baby like Kendra. You know, like when Kendra go out, Kendra's very can looked at as unapproachable. You know, oh, I don't want to go up to her because she look like she gonna shut me down. And people say that about me. I don't get that, because it's like once you get to talking to me, I'm cool as shit. And Dominique's the same way. But I feel like black men don't be.
You just can't just sit here like this all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
because then somebody gonna think you crazy,
right?
But I'm saying, why is it that's what I'm saying. Why are black men so afraid of taking a risk of walking up to somebody just because I'm sitting here sipping my cup?
That's them. You know, it just, I don't know, a lot of people just can't handle rejection, I guess. But you never know until you take your shot.
But then they be real mad when a white guy take his shot and he out with you.
Right, not my problem.
Okay. So, one of the other stereotypes that they were discussing was sexual stereotypes. Right? First being that black girls are freakier. And this goes both ways, because I have heard both things. I've heard black girls are freaky, but I've also heard white girls do shit that black women won't. And I've heard both. So what are your thoughts on that? Either one of y'all.
I feel like, in my opinion, maybe white girls are willing to do things that we women.
But what is that?
What is it? Yeah.
Real quick before we dig into this, Patrick said, according to what you said, he said, is there a happy medium? If you want men to approach you, maybe we should try and be approachable. Just saying.
How are you? What would make me approachable?
Hey, Austin said, black girls are the best, hands down. This is my cousin's husband. Your shit just ended on you, huh?
I guess so.
So, now, getting into the sexual side, black girls, they saying black girls are freakier than white girls. And I'm saying I've heard both. So, you guys are saying, and Austin said, I done had everything. Okay, Austin. You done had everything, and you know black girls is the best. Okay, alright. I'm with it. Okay. So, Adriana said, I don't think race plays a factor in that part. It comes down to how the person is and what they're comfortable with. I agree on that. Because I feel like, I think growing up, you used to always hear, well, black girls don't like giving head. White girls do. Right? Y'all heard that. You heard that. Right?
And all that stuff was when you were a child.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think about it when we were...
supposed to apply when you're an adult.
See, this girl said, I heard white girls suck dick the best. Where is my men at? I need the input. He said black girls are against oral sex. You literally have to blackmail a black woman. Somebody said, I feel like it's not race, it's the chemistry.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
I agree. I agree. And on
oral sex.
Hey, you heard her? Okay. Yeah. Okay. She said we're not gonna get on that topic. Oh shit, mine's down here. Yeah, so that was one of the things. Now the other thing they talked about was Asian girls are more submissive. Oh, and then she said also white girls love anal. I think
it depends on the person.
Yeah, that's what Aaron just said. He said it depends on the person. I agree with that statement.
Because I like the finger all up in the a-hole.
That's your favorite part of Meek's song too. Put the thumb out of the a-hole, okay? And I'm over here like He said, look, Dom over here dropping jewels. So Patrick said, not the ones I mess with. They be, whew, never mind. Hey Patrick, what your black girls be into?
That's what I'm saying. Depends on the person.
What your black girls be into, Patrick? Let them know. So now, Asian girls are more submissive. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I don't know. Right, I don't
Asian
know.
Friends,
But maybe, because you know sometimes when you see porn, okay, maybe I'm about to speak too much.
But I feel like
So-
porn is porn. That's anyone posing to be anything.
Yeah,
you
you're
know what
right,
I mean?
you're right, that's true. That's
So
true.
if that's what statistics are, then that's what they're gonna
Hey.
play a part of in a porn.
My man Austin said, a girl that's really with you gonna do whatever.
I agree.
That's true.
I agree to a certain extent because it's still some goddamn lines that my motherfucking ass ain't crossing. Do you get what I'm saying? It's still some lines I'm not crossing. He said everything, and I don't mess with them. Patrick said you gotta be willing to do everything or he ain't messing with you.
You gotta be open. I agree. At least explore, try it.
Look,
Not
Alistair
try
said
it.
I don't got that much data on Asians.
That's what I. Yeah, same with me. I don't know enough Asians.
No, I don't either, but apparently that this is one of the stereotypes that people are saying. They're saying that black men or other race men like women, white women, like Asian women because they're more submissive. I will say this though, based off of what I see, you do see that a lot, so I could understand why people would think that. Because if you think about it, you have a lot of older white men that have Asian wives. You have a lot of older black men that have younger Asian wives. You know, it's something that you see
culture-based.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very culture based. So I think you do see a lot. Oh, Austin said you would with me. Yeah, all right, Austin. Whatever. If I ain't with it, I ain't with it. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I could love you down, and I'm gonna love you down and not do whatever it is that I'm not comfortable with.
I can name one person that you would do it with.
Me? Like anything?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He got the coronavirus.
Who's she talking about?
We're still doing what I'm talking about.
Oh shit! Look, I'm over this bitch like, who's she talking about?
She ain't been a fan of him lately though, but used to be.
Are you talking about Idris Elba?
Yeah.
Nah, girl, I'm over him. Our relationship is over. Anyway, this guy says, he said we've built a lot in taboos and generational abuse that really fucked up black relationships and how we relate to each other. I agree. Oh yeah, look, Becca even knew. Becca was like Idris. Taylor was like Idris. No, I'm over him.
Yeah.
I'm over Idris. I'm
Yeah.
over him. Okay, guys, I'm over him. We had a huge breakup. It is done. Yeah, we're not together anymore. Now Wiz Khalifa. That's a different story. Okay, one of the other things, stereotype, and it's gonna be a lot of men that might feel a type of way about it, but I don't care. We about to knock this stereotype right the fuck out. So they say that black and Latino men have bigger dicks. Dom?
I disagree. 100%. I feel like your race has absolutely nothing to do with the size of your penis. Nothing.
So Dominique said that these white boys out here got that schlong.
Some of them be slanging.
She said they got the schlong, okay? So that's what I'm saying. She said black dudes, y'all better watch out. Because she said these white dudes out here got the schlong, okay? Taylor said, I agree with Dom. I'm just saying, I ain't never seen it, but I'm just saying, if y'all saying that is what it is, then cool. If y'all think that that's what it is, then cool. I'm just saying, I personally ain't seen a white boy with a schlong. Latino boys, I've seen one, never been with one, and then when I did see it, I was like, oh my god, what is that? Like, look, Austin over here with the eggplants and the water emojis, he better cut it out. He better cut it out.
What is Austin, white?
Yeah, that's Kenzie's
Okay.
husband.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord, he said Aston Port Indians and Asian. Becca said, I think maybe on average, but I agree with your friend because from what I've seen, not always the case. Okay. So right here, Miss Celia Chick, she said, I agree with Patrick. She said, you can't knock it unless you try it. She said, race has something to do with it, but white guys eat good pussy and about 15% have an okay sized penis. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron said, you just ain't been with a real man yet. Okay? That's what he said. So I'm just saying, we killing that whole. We gonna kill that stereotype because people over here on the live said that's not true.
It's not.
White men is not walking around here with the smallest penises. They not.
According to stereotypes, it's the Asians, right?
Yeah, stereotypes say it's Asian, which
I don't know.
just based on porn, I'm gonna be inclined to believe that because I done seen Asian porn and they always got the little. I think that's why they gray it out. You ever realize they put the little thing on it? Like, nigga, you put the fucking little blurry image on it. Like, I ain't gonna be able to tell that it's only like this big. Nigga, I can see that still. Like, yeah, no, I don't agree. So, Keith said every race has an occasional unicorn. He trying to say that them white slugs that you came in contact with, they some unicorns. So don't get used to it. They ain't happening all the time.
Because he be seeing all these male penises?
Oh, no, he just saying that he know what he got. He a black man, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with race.
Okay.
You just blessed.
Okay. I think that could flip the same way because they, you know, the stereotype is that black women got fatter asses. And I'm going to tell you right now, I done seen some white chicks walking around here like, good goddamn. Asian chicks too, out here in Cali. And now I know, some of them ain't real.
Right.
I know, look, I'm like, I know.
That shit was bought.
I know, some of them ain't real. But I have seen some white chicks that got some fat asses. Where is my man Ray? Because you know, Chris, Ray, that's his fucking preference. He fucking posts that shit all over goddamn Facebook and Instagram and let your ass know real quick that he prefer a white woman, a white thick woman. So I was waiting for him to chime in because I just knew he was gonna have my back. You know, I seen him on there. I don't know if he's still watching, but I just knew he was gonna have my back on that one. But yeah, I have seen some, so I think that's another stereotype we could get out the way. But I think that overall, it comes down to the type of person that you are. So now, Dom, what are the things that you look for in a man that you feel like, oh, just an FYI, y'all, for my viewers. My best friend is single. She's available. Okay? So, take note. So take note. So, Don, what are some of the things that you look for when you're like talking to a guy or getting something? What is the things that you look for in a man?
You know, for me, it's mental. I'm huge on mental stimulation. You know, you have to be able to carry your conversation, and it's not the typical day-to-day, how you doing, how's your day. No, I need you to elaborate. I need someone who is open-minded, you know, someone who's not just stuck in their ways, and you know, it's you know, maybe it is what you said, I'm too picky, I don't know, now that I'm saying what I want.
I'm laughing because I'm over here like, this is sounding picky, and then Alistair pops up like, full send to the DM. I'm just like, okay,
you know, so appearance wise, yeah, you know, I'd like to say there has to be something that I find attractive, but that only goes so far. Okay. So if you cannot carry a conversation, have some type of goals and ambition and
this is not, you're not saying I'm specifically looking for a white guy.
No, I'm talking about in general.
In general.
I've been on dating apps and I've had conversations with black men, with Asian men, with Hispanics, but those conversations are dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. The most people who engage in having a conversation is white men.
Okay. So for her, she needs to be mind fucked. Yeah, is pretty much what she's saying.
You can't fuck my mind, you're not fucking me.
Woo! You heard it there first. If you can't fuck a mind, you ain't fucking her. Put it that way. Okay? Heard it there first.
Pretty much.
Now, are there any particular things that you know, that are kind of turn-offs for you?
It's a list. I don't want to list that because then I'm going to sound picky. So, no.
I mean, you like what you like. Now, let me ask you this. Are those things that you don't like, do you find that you find less of those things that you don't like in white guys? Or is it...
Oh, it's both men, both black, white, Asian.
Now, have you had experiences with black men?
I've had a couple. not enough to fill one hand, but it's enough.
And do you feel like... Patrick said, you, Dom, walk right past all this 6'6", holy, educated, successful. Never mind.
But again,
so did he though.
Right.
Ooh, Patrick, she just fucking pulled your card. She said, but you walked past her too.
Prove your point.
And prove the point that y'all be walking past us strong-looking black women over here, okay? All right. Now, he said, damn, she got a list, LOL.
I do got a list.
I think it's nothing wrong with having a list.
I mean, it's not a huge list, but I don't want to state that list because that's 90% of men.
Is 90% of men?
I think it's a lot.
I think you should give them a chance to defend themselves. What are your lists?
I feel like...
Give me 3 things off your list.
Sex. Every conversation within the first, 5 to 10 minutes turns into something sexual. Whether it be, the looks, the conversation. It's just like, it's a turn off to me. You know what I mean? Because there's more to me than just the appearance, than my body. You know what I mean? So, to me, that's a huge turn off. When it just automatically... It's just sexual.
Okay, so no sex in the first 5 to 10 minutes, y'all. Give it at least an hour. Okay. What's the next one? I'm just trying to help my people out. Go ahead. What's the second one?
I cannot. I'm done.
Wait, Patrick said she wasn't checking for me. I did. She wasn't checking for me, though. And then Taylor said there's nothing wrong with having a list. She said, but what do I know? Because I'm single.
That's why I said that's probably why.
But this is probably why. It's like, here's the thing. This is what I think, and this is black, white aside. I just feel like sometimes you have to go into a situation being completely open-minded and setting aside. It's okay to have particular things that you are not willing to accept. Like we talked about on our relationship deal breaker episode. It's okay to have particular things that you don't accept. But to have like a whole list, and if they be like, oh, nope. Cross you out.
I mean, if you hitting all that within the first 5 minutes, then no, it's a cross out.
Okay, so boom. She said dating is hard because most men or women are she said most boys or men are fuckboys. This is Riri said that. Now, Mr. Still Your Man Chick said, she said, Dom, can you be with a man that stimulates your mind mentally, but sex is trash?
I feel like if you stimulating my mind mentally, it's waterfalls for me. You know what I mean? Sex can be trash, but there's improvements, right? I can coach you. I can teach you what I like.
Okay.
So it depends. You know what I mean? It depends on how willing he is to be open to what I like, what pleases me. But mental stimulation, for me, it's a turn on.
Okay. So, real quick, Keith says, beauty and real attraction are 2 totally different things. I agree with that. We're going to go moving into admiration and fetishes to talk about that. And then Austin says, ain't nothing wrong with having high standards. So, basically, he trying to say, keep your standards high. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
They was never going to fall.
I got it.
They was never going to fall.
So, now, real quick, because what Keith said was beauty and real attraction are 2 totally different things, and they are. So one of the things that they talked about was admiration and fetishes. The difference in people just admiring the beauty of a black woman or a white guy or a white woman or any other race versus it being a fetish. Now, do you find that you encounter a lot of white guys where it's like a fetish? Like, I've never been with a black girl?
Yes.
You find that?
I've met a lot of white guys who have said that, but it's never, I'm not going to say it's never, because there's been a few to be like, can you be my first black chick? Or I'd love for you to be, no, I'm not with that.
Can I tell you, I actually completely and totally understand that. I mean, again, I'm biracial, and I've never actually been with anything other than a black man. But I can tell you that I've been a victim of that admiration and fetish thing because I'm plus size. So I've had guys that have been like, damn, you're hella cute for a BBW, or I've never been with a plus size chick. And then I've had an instance where the dude didn't even tell me that he had never been with a plus size chick. I went with him, hung out with him, the deed was done, and next thing you know, this motherfucker's calling me like, oh my gosh, I had never been with a BBW before, and you just blew my mind. And I was just like, oh no, this is not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not, because now it becomes a fetish,
Right.
and that's an admiration. So I don't agree with that. So Patrick said, you can keep your standards high, but your expectations low. He said that's how he does it.
I never go into anything expecting anything.
Okay. You heard it from her mouth. She said she don't expect it, okay? So, kind of wrapping it up, so one thing I did want to, a couple things I wanted to point out is, they said that the 41% of a mixed race, so this is any race, interracial, married couple, ends in divorce within 10 years of marriage. 41% of those marriages end in divorce within 10 years. Where the same race, it's 31% end in divorce within 10 years.
So it's not that far off.
It's not that far off. So I think it's safe to say that
race has nothing to do with
race has nothing to do with the longevity of your relationship. What I am going to say is that extra 10% probably has something to do with what you said, which is people giving a fuck about what people think.
Right.
So Keith said, aim for the sky, you might hit a star. And then Alice said, well, the divorce rate is high anyway. Which we already discussed that. We talked about that last episode with the open marriage and open relationships thing. I feel like if everybody hop on board and hop on that train, divorce rates and everything else would go down tremendously. Because I believe that is one of the main reasons why. I don't know what your thoughts are, Dom, but that's my thought. Last thing I'm going to point out to y'all, June 12th is considered Loving Day. That day is supposed to be symbolic for all people that like to date interracial, because that was the day when it actually became legal for you to marry someone outside of your race. So, for all of my people that love to date internationally, please, please, please keep that in mind. And you guys should celebrate that, because that was a huge moment for you guys and the ability to be able to get married to whoever you choose to date. Alice, you're going to have to go back and watch that episode, because it got really interesting. I'm sorry that your phone died on that one, because it got interesting. So you definitely going to have to go back and watch it. So next week, we're going to discuss, I got a couple different ideas. See, she knows. Austin said Kenzie loves that day. She did a project on it. Because I feel like when you're an interracial couple, it's really symbolic for them. So I'm going to kind of send it out to you guys. I have some topic ideas for next week, but I want to see what you guys' input on. So send me some ideas. You guys know it's Tabu, and we can talk about anything. Cause,
I've never seen this one, John.
Right. We can talk about anything. Nothing is ever too much. I'm going to talk about everything. I'll get everything out there. I'm going to get deep on it.
PYT.
Look, I see Miss...
PYT on there.
PYT.
See her.
She ain't never got on here. Hey, girl. Thanks for tuning in, girl.
Show's over now.
Right. Anyway.
Hey, better late
So... I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in once again to Tabu Time with me, your girl Sammy J. It's always appreciated. I love the feedback. I'm taking everything in. Wifey is actually going to be working, guys, on uploading all these videos to YouTube this week, so that they will be available for you guys to go back and view. I had a couple of issues with getting everything uploaded to SoundCloud, so we're just going to go ahead and switch to YouTube ahead of schedule. So I'm going to be uploading those soon. I'm definitely going to be pushing out a new music episode within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So therefore, I would like it if you guys can please send me any artists who are looking to get their music out there. I'm willing to push it out there for you guys for promo. So that's going to be in the up and coming weeks. Again, please send me your episode ideas. I have some of my own, but I love to hear from you guys. Things that you want to talk about. Nothing is off limits when it comes to Taboo Time. So please reach out to me. Once again, guys, thank you so much. This has been real. Oh, wait. One person said, y'all are all wearing hoops on purpose, LOL, or y'all just connected like that. And we just lit like that, Austin. We just lit like that. Thank you so much for tuning in to Taboo Time with your girl, Sammy J. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah.
We out.